Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Gameweek 28? Let's take a look at where we should be spending transfers this week, broken down nice and simple by position. So goalkeepers first, and I think the best fixtures at a glance defensively is Brentford playing Burnley and Liverpool are home to West Ham. Kelleher and Alisson the top two keepers this week. Raya actually as well joint top with those two, but Arsenal home to Chelsea and it just somehow doesn't feel as secure for a clean sheet. Brentford's fixtures are fantastic. After Burnley they've got Bournemouth, then they've got Wolves, and they've got Leeds, and Everton and Fulham. And Kelleher is top of all keepers for projected points over the next 5 game weeks. You can always back a team against Burnley. Burnley have amassed 21.14 expected non-penalty goals this season, which is rock bottom in the league. By the way, Sunderland second worst in that respect, and then it's Wolves, Spurs and Everton. Interestingly, even with penalties stripped out, which Chelsea obviously have had a lot of, they're still top in the league for non-pen XG. Anyway, Chelsea's fixtures do turn now, so we're not really looking to buy their attackers. If you're able to bench like an Enzo or a João Pedro or a Palmer, I don't think it's that bad. They've got Villa away, they've got Newcastle after that, who are going to have to play, I think it's the FA Cup and the Champions League either side of that game. But yeah, if this is a week where it makes sense to sell, fair enough. Chelsea could get a double game week 33, which would be Man United home, Brighton away potentially, so we'll definitely be back if selling. So that's the best attacks in the league. As far as the best defences, Arsenal are probably going to hold on to that top spot for the remainder of the season. Only 19.17 expected goals conceded, which is ridiculously far ahead of next best, which is Man City with 30.31 XG conceded. And then it's Liverpool, Man United perhaps surprisingly high in 4th, and then Newcastle. And Burnley sit bottom for XG conceded as well. Then it's West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth and Leeds. If you'd like access to all of my data tables plus other tools like fixture ticker, player comparison, captaincy matrix and more, then use the link in the description. That gives you 50% off Scout membership. Raya's got a few good fixtures after the Chelsea game, so I definitely wouldn't sell him for anyone. I think I'd only consider a keeper transfer if you've got a keeper that's got some bad fixtures like, Sanchez with Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle. Pickford's got Newcastle, Arsenal and Chelsea in his next 4. Hermansen's got Liverpool, City and Villa. I don't think anyone's got him, but a few examples there. Let's move on to defenders. And this week, Senesi is top with Bournemouth playing home to Sunderland. Bournemouth are a strange one. They're actually second best after Arsenal for expected goals conceded in home games this season. But in away games, they're literally worse in the league. Senesi's on 8 yellow cards, so I'd actually opt for Hill over Senesi, as there is that outside chance Senesi gets those 2 yellows in the next 3 games, and therefore would miss blank game week 31. Though obviously if you weren't planning on using him at 31 either way, then it doesn't matter so much. Van Dijk's now on 28 points in 2 games, and he's got a home game against West Ham. 9.56 defcons per 90, he's worth the 5.9 million. He's top of all defenders for the next 5 game projections on FPL Review. Kanate is the alternative for 5.4 mil. He did well last game. He got defcon, whereas obviously Van Dijk got the assist and bonus, and he's a nice alternative for 5.4 mil, but don't get me wrong, Van Dijk is worth the extra 0.5 mil difference if you can afford it. Anderson makes the table again here. He's playing home to Spurs next. 10.4 defcons per 90 for Anderson, which ranks 4th best among defenders. And you can start him in all of the next 4 game weeks as well, so he's just perfect for 4.5 mil. Especially that Burnley home fixture in blank game week 31. It's probably a sensible idea to be invested in the Fulham defence for that game in 31. Chow's next 4 fixtures aren't quite as good, but it's this week and it's game week 31 that look pretty great. They've got Everton home and Sunderland home those 2 weeks, with Man United and Chelsea in between those 2 games, but such a busy schedule though. Chow is potentially my O'Reilly replacement, but that being game week 31 for me. In terms of Brentford, Van den Berg probably looks the best Brentford defender potentially for 4.5 mil. Coyote missed out last match, but should hopefully be back in game week 28. They really missed him against Brighton. And then it's O'Reilly who makes the table here, 4.3 points, which is actually joint 3rd most this week. It's really tight. He's joint of Anderson, Chow, Hill and Van den Berg. So that's 30 points in 2 games for O'Reilly. He's playing in midfield out of position now. Out of position from an FPL perspective, that is. Isn't an unfamiliar position to him, by the way. His natural role is in midfield. He put up crazy numbers playing in the Man City Academy in midfield entirely. For example, at the under-18s level, 38 goal involvements in 46 games. It's just that blank in 31 that makes O'Reilly a difficult buy right now. If he carries on with these goal involvements or clean sheets, then it won't matter. I just personally wouldn't buy him unless you can still definitely get 11 players out in 31. Otherwise, it's just going to have to be one of those that you pass up on and get him after the blank. Midfielders next, and it's Bruno and Salah top. Two really good choices for captaincy this week. Plus, of course, there's Haaland, who's going to be the more popular one in the equation, but these two have got the home fixtures. Man United versus Palace, particularly if Lacroix is still out by next game week. He missed the last match with a thigh injury he picked up in Europe. Wirtz is on 5.3 points, subject to being available by the next deadline. It sounded like a minor issue having to pull out of the game just before kickoff due to a back issue in the warm-up. Failing that, Szoboszlai is a good alternative option in Liverpool's attack for 6.8 mil. He could return to midfield even soon if Slot decides to use Gomez and right back. Gomez was on the bench last game. To be fair, Szoboszlai's been getting the returns even when he plays right back. Although he blanked last game, Dango actually put up good numbers that I wanted to flag up. 0.99 XGI. He created a big chance for 0.66 expected assists, and he also had a 0.33 XG shot, and he plays Burnley next. Although he was benched last game, I actually expect Sharda to start, and therefore I think he's a really good differential pick that many are overlooking Sharda. His expected data is superior to Dango's. The only reason he's not on the table is basically because of conservative predicted minutes this week. You know, for example, if he gets 85 minutes against Burnley, that places him on 5.2 projected points this week. It seems probable that he probably comes in to me anyway, given they lost the last game. I think one logical change that Andrews could make is Sharda coming in at left wing. If you really wanted to push it, I think buying both Dango and Sharda is a significantly high upside play that could be really rewarding, especially if you own Thiago, tripled in attack, and especially if you still got your wildcard. So basically it's triple Brentford attack for 4 game weeks to try and catch those great fixtures, and then you just wildcard them out in game week 32 after the blank. I'm not rolling out for my team honestly, but I'm going to sit on that one. The team selection video will be out on Wednesday, so make sure you're subscribed by tapping the subscribe button below. Some other names that are not quite on the table this week: Rodgers 4.8 points, Wilson 4.7 points, Anderson from Forest 3.9, Palmer 3.8, Stack and Lefay 3.6. Wilson remains a really strong pick, probably even has pen duties when Raul is off the pitch, which has been happening recently with Muniz back. He's got 15 goal involvements to his name this season and 24 starts. Onto the forwards next, and just to recap, so Bruno and Salah were on 6.9 points, Haaland 6.3, so the mids are actually favoured for captaincy this week. Which way are you guys going with captaincy as it stands? Are you on Bruno, Salah, Haaland or someone else? Man City have won 5 on the bounce now. Haaland actually blanked in the reverse fixture home to Leeds, and his goals have dried up lately, but we know that he can and he will show up big at some point again soon. But Bruno playing against a Palace side that are potentially lacking the motivation after losing their captain, they know they're going to be losing their manager, and if Lacroix is out as well, it could be a really good fixture for United. Thiago is second on the table for that Burnley game, and again his returns have dried up as well. He's got 1 goal and no assists in his last 6 games, but he's obviously a hold, and he's still worth considering buying if you don't own him. You know, he's had some tough fixtures in fairness over the last 6, but the next few are really good. And this is really the theme of the season though, isn't it? Like Ekitike is also underwhelmed, but he's worth holding. Really hit and miss, inconsistent form. The midfielders are where the most points are at ultimately. The only thing still having the bench boost is obviously you're going to have to set up with 3 playable attackers, so that's going to be a bridge to cross on wildcard 32 before bench boosting in 33. Who are you guys buying this week? Leave a comment below. I've got a question for you. Have you ever gone to search for a show on something like Netflix and you've seen nothing? It turns out Netflix probably has the show you want, it's just geo-restricted. Depending on where you live, Netflix and all the other streaming services offer different content libraries. This means you're paying for a full subscription, but you're technically only getting access to a fraction of their total movies and shows. With ExpressVPN, I can change my location to anywhere in the world, literally just like this, 1 click, and you instantly unlock thousands of new titles. For example, let's say Shawshank Redemption isn't on Netflix. Well, boom, I click this and now I'm in France and now I'm watching it. Or if you want to watch Match of the Day and you don't live in the UK, just 1 tap and now you've got the best football coverage. I first started using ExpressVPN in 2023 as an app for mobile and PC, and also a browser add-on. I use the browser add-on the most personally. You might not be as interested in unlocking content from other countries. Another benefit is you can access discounts that other countries have got that you don't for the same service. VPNs are also essential for privacy. For example, US internet providers can legally sell your browsing history, or in the UK and other countries they're required to keep logs of every page you've ever visited for 1 to 2 years. Like, it's crazy that someone somewhere can profit off you browsing the internet. This keeps you anonymized and safe. It's the world's best VPN. Go to expressvpn.com/FPL that link's in the description, or just scan the QR code on screen and check out how to get up to 4 months when subscribing. It's only £2.49 a month, which is literally 8p a day. Thank you for checking them out. Thank you as always for watching the video. See you soon for the next one.